So, most deaf people tend to avoid working jobs where people will be whispering. And I picked banking. And banking is where rich people lean in really close to you, like they're about to confess a murder, and tell you where all the bodies are buried. And then they say, so then I just get to smile and be like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give you a moment while I pretend that you just spoke English to me, and I'm going to count out maybe 2 options of what you asked for, and you're going to get both of them. So that bank I worked at right after college. I was a teller. It was in Boston at the corner of Boylston Street, which is right at the Boston Marathon finish line, and Clarendon Street. So it's sort of akin to New York if you're thinking about Park Avenue and 57th. So it's just rich people everywhere. And it's the kind of place where even the pigeons look financially secure. That they're not eating breadcrumbs. They sort of just want their cannoli. So I worked at the bank for 1 year. And within that 1 year, the bank got robbed, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And at that point, it doesn't really feel like a bank anymore. It's more of a rewards program. And just, congratulations, sir. Your checking account now includes complimentary armed robbery. Here is your shotgun. And you can check, there might be some money inside. Look for cash. So the bank had 7 tellers all in a row, and I was way at the end as teller number 1. And we had a vault right next door with a big classic safe and window where we could see customers and so forth. The teller right next to me was named Helen, and she was goth. And this was back before corporate America really knew what to do with goth people. And she had the white face makeup and black dyed hair, black mascara and lipstick. Like, she really looked like she maybe managed a cemetery part-time. But with that said, she was an amazing teller, incredibly detail-oriented. She could count cash faster than a casino machine. She probably had OCD, but I can't diagnose. But if there was a penny missing, Helen would immediately know exactly which president was responsible. So, one day, as the bank was closing soon, typically at the end of the day, I would close my window and to verify funds, cash and checks, and I would turn my hearing aids off for this because it would be in silence. It's really the best noise-canceling headphones on the market, absolutely crushing your AirPods. So I'd have my hearing aids off. I was going in, doing my end-of-day tasks, and in my peripheral vision, I see Helen taking cash out of her drawer and just throwing it out the teller window. And so I'm thinking, okay, Helen finally snapped. Like, she finally hit her head, and she hit her limit, and she decided, you know what? The money belongs to the people. Here you go. So I look up at Helen, and I see that she's actually already staring at me, and her eyes are wide open, and her face is somehow more white than usual, which medically should not have been possible. And then I turn around, and I notice that the other 6 tellers are also staring at me. And my manager is staring at me. And there are 2 customer service reps who are also staring at me. And then finally, I see 2 bank robbers who are also staring at me. And they have guns, and they're staring directly at me. And I realize, like, oh, this has not been an accounting issue. And, like, truly the whole time I've been standing there with my calculator, like, carry the 1. And someone's literally pointed a gun at my head. And I think he probably thought that I was, like, the most fearless employee in banking history. Like, imagine risking 20 years in federal prison and losing an argument to a fucking deaf guy with a calculator. So the other guy, I probably was like, forget the vault. This deaf guy is clearly the man in charge. And And so they left the bank. And so I then, of course, was like, no, I missed the frickin' show, get back here. This is absolutely an example of hearing privilege, and the ADA says that I have rights to equal access to witness everything that my colleagues do. So the customer service reps run over to me, and one of them goes, oh my God, that bank robber was screaming at you to open the fucking door. And I was like, really? I really just thought that Helen was having a goth episode. Yeah, I was really just like, Helen, these numbers do not add up. Okay, and then we're getting this, open the fucking... And so, yeah, maybe I was the bravest person in the bank that day. And it had nothing to do with my courage, I just literally did not hear the fucking problem. So by the way, that's a true story. That did actually happen. And I have another true story, also a kind of freaky one. So, I grew up in Lexington, which is the birthplace of the American Revolution, like 251 years ago or so. That famous, the shot heard round the world. For me as a kid, it was almost the choke that was heard round the playground. So, every summer, the Lions Club in town would host a giant field day for the town with hundreds of elementary school kids, and they'd have all sorts of things, that there'd be potato sack races and other sorts of runs, pie eating contests, water balloons, and a watermelon eating contest. And that was what I was most excited about. So I lined up, I had a thick slice of watermelon in my hand, and across from me was a table with a trophy, and I had my name written all over it in my head. I was so ready to win. And this was serious for me because sitting in the high school football bleachers was Lisa, and I'd had a crush on Lisa since second grade. And you know, at like that age when you're young, when you have a childhood crush, you know what happens, that like, you don't necessarily want to date them, you just want them to like look at you, and then when they look at you, you get all flushed up, and it's sort of like the same thing as an orgasm if they just look at you. So I'm standing there, holding this giant watermelon slice, the starting gun goes off, and everyone starts eating, and most people are eating very politely, taking their little bites, spitting out their seeds, and I'm more like a farm animal who is absolutely fighting for his survival. So watermelons are flying everywhere, there are seeds going everywhere, it's 100% violence, and I could just imagine Lisa being like, oh my God, he's so athletic, and he's wet, he's so hydrated, oh my goodness. So I'm down to like my last 2 bites, and I can see the trophy, and I swallow way too much watermelon, and instantly my throat locks up, and I'm choking. And the worst thing about choking in public is that you know how embarrassing you look. So I panic, and I throw the watermelon slice in the air, and it feels like things go into slow motion like an action movie as the watermelon is exploding all over my body and all over the ground. I start running, I'm clutching my chest, and I go up to this old man, one of the people in the Lions Club vests. He's very official looking, and I'm like, thank God, a trained professional. So I come up to him choking, and this old man just stares at me. Like, he's completely frozen. It feels like maybe he needs an adult, and I'm like, okay, so forget about me. Can somebody help this man? And so I'm starting to think that maybe like the Lions Club is maybe really an organization that helps lions, but not necessarily children. So I'm still joking, and I see my father, who starts running down from the bleachers. And my dad sees that I can still breathe a little bit, and instead of going for the Heimlich, he decides on cartoon logic, where he picks me up, flips me upside down by the ankles, and starts shaking me. Like a raccoon in a trash bag of sorts. There's watermelon juice pouring out of my face. He's shaking me up and down, and nothing is happening. And he does it again, sort of like a piggy bank maybe, like he's shaking it. Maybe he's looking for that missing penny that Helen could always find. And so he's shaking me, nothing is happening. So this is the 3rd time, I'm dying. I'm screaming. I'm like, please just don't let Lisa see this. I don't want her to see me die like this. And then finally, the soggy watermelon chunk does fly out. So I survive. The crowd starts cheering. Lisa is completely traumatized. It really like killed my dating chances more than like the choking. It was like more this shaking. And then because the town seems to maybe enjoy humiliating children, they gave me a ribbon. Like no trophy, nothing for like most inspirational, nothing, just a ribbon of like, congrats on surviving that, you did it, you survived fruit. Yeah, it's a fucking ribbon. It felt like I completed a 5K sponsored by OSHA. And I still actually to this day don't know what place I got in the watermelon eating contest, but medically I think I finished first. Thanks, you guys.
Improv with our next comic and our pal Jenny V. It's the best mic in the city. So if you think you want to do this, you should come to our mic.